Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video on factorials. By the end of this video, you should be able to calculate factorials, even if you're using a calculator, understand what they are, and how they can be used as counting tools. So why am I going through this? Well, remember the formula for calculating probabilities. It's such a simple formula, so commonsensical. Probability of an event, the number of ways it can occur over the total number of outcomes. So why is probability so difficult for so many people? Well, apart from the fact you can only use this formula when all possible outcomes are equally likely, see, the thing is, sometimes counting this, the number of ways it can occur, or calculating this, the total number of outcomes, can be very difficult. And that's why factorials are going to prove very useful. They can help us count this or this. That's what the whole of this lesson is about. So let's look at an example. So let's look at this question here. So one person from each of the 8 houses at Mars competes in a race. How many different ways can the participants be ranked, finish from 1st to 8? So this is actually quite a hard question to think about if we don't have factorials. So one way could be in this order. I'm sure you know what each of these stands for. This coming first, this coming last, right? But there are just so many of them. To try and count all of them would take forever. But there's a way we can count them a lot easier. So this is how we're going to look at it. So firstly, if I have one person from each of the 8 houses racing, there are 8 people in the race. So there are 8 possibilities for who comes first. So after you've figured out who came first, so let's say the person here was from Darlinghurst came first, there are 7 houses left to choose from as to who comes second. So I'm going to put a 7 there. So let's say Darlinghurst came first, then Hayden second. Then there are 6 possible choices for who came third, and so on. There are 5, 4, 3, 2 possible choices, and then there'll just be 1 possible choice for who came last. So what we're saying is, for each of the 8 possible choices that come first, there are 7 possibilities for second. So the number of choices for first and second is 8 times 7, 8 lots of 7, which is 56. And the number of choices for who came first, second, and third is 8 times 7 times 6. So the total number of ways, the total number of possible finishes for the race is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, all the way down to 1. But even putting this on their calculator, 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, that's too much for mathematicians. We're really lazy. So what we've done is invented a name and a symbol for this. This number is 8 factorial, and the symbol used is this symbol, the exclamation mark. So that should be very easily identifiable on Scientific Calculator. You just go into Math menu if you want it on your graphics calculator. So if I put 8 factorial in my calculator will calculate 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 all the way down to 1. So try putting it in your calculator to make sure you can do it. I end up getting the number 40,320. That's right. There are 40,320 different combinations from 1st to 8. This is just one of those combinations. So factorials make counting this so much easier. And we're going to learn in later videos how we can apply this to probability. So that's why factorials are useful. Hopefully you understand a bit more about what they are. So the proper definition is, if I have n factorial, what I do is times n, I include n, then I times the next number below, all the way down to 1, all the integers down to 1. That's the definition of a factorial. So something like 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's 120. And, 10 factorial would be 10 times 9 times 8, all the way down to 1. It's a quick way of calculating the product of all of the integers up to and including a number. 20 factorial is 20 times 19 times 18, all the way down to 1. So if you I guess, kind of pathological examples, we know 1 factorial is 1, but actually 0 factorial is 1 as well. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.